Alright, so here's how I made that cloud lamp you may have seen at church. If you don't go to church or haven't been to my church, check out Grace Piqua United Methodist. So we started off wanting a cheap light, something that covered a lot of area and had a lot of brightness. And we saw these LED strip lights that are probably waterproof, but they can pretty much do anything you want. So I bought 2 strips of these and connected them together for this. Now I needed a light that was round, and I thought, how am I going to do this? So I saw paper lanterns. These were perfect for the insides of the clouds. They're big depending on what size you get, and there's obviously small little ones. And pretty much what we did was wire them together and then hot glue them as a extra support structure. We probably went through 45 hot glue gun little sticks for this project. LOL. So here you can see my lovely wife threading the LED strips through the lanterns. This was a lot easier to do without all the fluff on. Thank God we thought of it before we put the fluff on. We decided to test the LED strips as well before we decided to put all the fluff on, because how horrible would it be if we got everything up, fluff on, all that stuff, plugged it in, and nothing worked. So we ran it through a couple tests, made sure that the remotes worked for it since it was going to be hanging up and we didn't have any other control of it other than the remote. So we ran all the test strips through the tests. Alright, here's where those 45 glue sticks came in handy. Pretty much all we did was put hot glue onto the lanterns and then put a giant handful of fluff on it. It worked perfectly. Here's a nice little action shot of us putting that fluff on. It was just like throwing a ton of it on there, and then whatever fell off, you either glued back on or left off. Once we got them hung and up, we did add more fluff where it needed to be, but this was just like putting a base layer of it on. So we inserted a PVC pipe through that large cloud. That way it had some kind of structure to it. We found once we hung it, it was pretty limp. So we put that PVC pipe through and hung it off of that. It works pretty well, and bam, you have a cloud. It was pretty easy. The whole project probably cost about $125. We ended up making 2 more clouds because we had some extra and wanted more coverage upstage. So if you're afraid of heights, cut the video right now. This was us hanging up off of a ladder, getting these things hung. As you can see, fluff fell off and we just added it right back on. Here's what the back of that cloud looked like. Obviously the congregation was not going to see the back, so we didn't add any fluff. Now when we take them down and maybe hang them up, maybe then we'll add more fluff, but that's pretty much how it went. Here's that support going up into the ceiling. I'll talk about that more in a minute. Shout out to my sister who stayed and helped hang this thing. Obviously I couldn't get my pregnant wife to climb up on the ladder with me. So here's that really freaking tall ladder. It weighs about 150 pounds. You have to have 2 people help get it up there. And it's really sturdy once it's up. You can hang off the top. You can do pretty much whatever you want. But dang, we need one of those scissor lifts. So I ended up wiring the cloud into the box up in our crow's nest. And put it on a dimmer too. There's a carabiner connected to that PVC pipe. And then we put paracord up into ceiling anchors that we already had in there. It was a really easy hang. For the rest of the support, we used fishing wire. If you ask my sister, it's probably 25 or 50 pound test, but whatever works. I'm sure it wasn't that much weight. So here is a little demo of the cloud. We ran it through a couple different things on the remote, and it was really neat how cloud-like it looked, as you can obviously see. And our sermon series was stormproof. It was pretty cool. Here's the remote. It had 1,000 different options on it, and it was really fun to change it during sermons. So I ran an extension cord up into the ceiling and plugged it into the dimmer on our stage. So that's me following. There's that little orange cord all the way down behind the fabric, and it goes into our dimmer box that goes right up to that crow's nest you saw. There's that little dimmer, and it was nice to be able to control it from up there. So here's what it looks like with all the lights on. It was really neat. It really did look like a cloud. Obviously they were colored, and it was just fun and whimsical and really cheap. The whole project being $125. We volunteered our time. It was neat. So no, I won't be selling it after. I have no idea how to ship it, but thanks for watching the video, and check back again soon for the next.